Okay, so here we are continuing our scrapes. We kind of scraped up, just for this demo, some piles. We're kind of working our way from the outside of the grease stain, working our way in. So, the point is, I'm scraping this stuff up. And what I want to do is I can either just waller in it, or this would be a good time to kind of spag my way into it. So whether you're using cardboard down as kind of knee boards, or something to keep yourself out of the mess, what we'll do is, the best way to just put this spag of peat moss out is, it is fine and dusty, so I'll just kind of rake it right out of the bag, keep it low to the ground. You can see this stuff is very fine. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get a pile of it in the area that I just went over. I'm going to go ahead and start just kind of spreading this out. And the key is, you don't want to just lay it out here. The absolute key to this deal is, if you'll take and agitate it into the roof pretty aggressively, you're embedding that peat moss right into that roof. So I'll kind of go over here and dust out this area. Kind of see where I've been. You'll see it when it clumps up on certain pieces. What I'll do is I'm just going to spread this out here and kind of get an idea of how much I'm leaving behind. I just want a light dusting of it back, left. But the good part about this is, so anything wet I'm hitting. Now you could use a broom or something like that to work this stuff in the roof. We just find that it's about as easy just to drop to your hands and knees and do it the old-fashioned way. The good thing about it is, I'm going to rake up my residual. It works out pretty well, is now I've at least got an area that while I'm in it, I'm not just sitting here just tracking this stuff up like mud. You're going to find all kinds of stuff inside these roofs. Nuts, bolts, screws, fasteners. Those are all puncture things that we just need to get off of the roof. So we kind of strive in the fact that it's not just the grease containment and the grease removal that we are good at. We'll also, pan back around right here, like this loose debris and stuff that's left on the roof, just kind of our standard Driploc services, we'll go ahead and take that stuff out in one shot. Just kind of make clean be the presence up here. Okay, hold on 1 second. What's this say? Okay.
You keep it rolling or kill it? It's still rolling.
Stop. Oh no, stop it.
Okay.
Okay guys, another tip that we're going to look at real quick is when the grease is in a consistency that you can actually scrape it and pile it up like you see over here, then you're better off just scooping it up and saving your peat moss. Don't waste the money on it. You can scrape it up, put it in a bag or a bucket. Whenever the grease gets where you could almost ladle it off the roof and it's in a real thin state, this is fairly liquidy right here. That's old fryer grease. But if it's in a liquid state, instead of trying to scrape it and ladle it up, you're much better off taking some of that peat. Let me just show you real quick what that'll do. Same thing, we want to agitate it in. You may want to use your scrapers at the same time. Kind of rake this stuff back. Think about making up a brownie mix. But watch what'll happen as this stuff starts getting encapsulated inside of here. You kind of take that and change it from a liquid state over into a solid. So see how gooey that stuff is? Let's see if I can show you this real quick. That just beats the heck out of, changing it over from a liquid to a solid. Just makes it a whole lot easier to get rid of. Now we're obviously getting pretty gooed up. And you can see I can burn and turn a lot of peat moss when I do it this way. So that's why we don't recommend it. Just doing it with my hands, not working too good. Get right up underneath that stuff. Kind of stir it up, and you'll see whenever it gets encapsulated, see how it's starting to get chunky? That's kind of what you're looking for. When you get done with this stuff, if you'll take like your scrapers, even we a lot of times store our scrapers inside our bags, you kind of clean up all your hands and your tools pretty easy. Getting the majority of this stuff back off your gloves where you're not in too bad a shape. So that's if you were going to pick up a liquid form, you're going to change a liquid into a solid, then just use the raw peat. Make sure and use this stuff, just keep pushing it around from pile to pile. The end result is when you go by, remember, you're going to look for that nice embedded peat right there in the roof. So I'm just going to continue on working my way up the path. Okay guys, so we're going to walk around real quick, kind of get an idea of the amount of debris that we got out of here. Pipes, old conduit, all this metal, caulking tubes. And like I said, we just kind of consider that part of our job. So we got our trash and debris, we're just going to discard that. This is the remnants of the bag of peat moss that we had. We've still probably got somewhere in the neighborhoods of, we probably burned 2.5 pounds on that. So that costs about $7.50 in oil absorbent, give or take. So let's walk it around real quick. So we kind of came off the ladder earlier. Get to a point where I'm kind of going back around. We'll do this walkthrough. So anywhere where that grease was at, you can kind of see that blonde look where we put down that peat moss. And if you look back underneath these air conditioning units and stuff, we had to scrape up some of the stuff underneath there. Just what to kind of keep in mind that the idea is to get the peat moss down good one time. Again, if you look at how thick this stuff is, I'm not putting it down super thick. All right, it's a fine bed of peat moss down. So we've done our little installs, kind of cleaned up. Obviously making some recommendations to these guys. Kind of back up from this view. So you kind of see as far as overall better, much, much better. The good news is too, that when we do this right, not only do we have kind of a good bed of peat moss down, now nature will take its course as this sun comes out, heats up. It's about 65 here today. So it's not optimal for scraping up grease on roofs. Colder weather makes it harder. We definitely like it when we can get it, kind of the hard part is when it gets hotter, it just loosens up the grease on the roof and more will come up. When we come back next time, what you're gonna see is kind of a dead stain into the roof. Now at least these guys have got an option. So if you're the power washer, great. Next time come back, power wash all this stuff up. Always be careful on Duralast roofs. Worst case scenario, if you're not the hood cleaner and you're just a guy installing our Driploc products, you can at least outlay the expectations. So I'd recommend you guys sharing this stuff around on kind of what they can expect. We can't take all the stains out of the surfaces, but we can at least get the oil and the fire hazard out. So any other questions, always feel free to call us here at Driploc 877-374-7562. And we look forward to talking with you soon. Thank you very much.